bonuses are required fields, and in this video I'm going to be doing number one of those what's been spinning lately. I know I did number one earlier this month, and here are some of the albums that have been spinning since then. This is a British thrash metal band called Hydravane, and this is the second of their two albums. It's called After the Dream. They released an album called Rather Deft and False of Fate back in 1988, and the following year they released the sophomore album After the Dream, and the band was usually compared to Slayer, and that's an apt comparison, but the vocals reminded me a little bit more of David Wade of Metal Church, and also this is called a bit of a Slayer Metal Church hybrid, and this album is pretty appropriate, I think. And anyways, the after the band actually the band disbanded after the Dream was released in and their lead singer actually auditioned to become the new singer for Sabat after Martin left the band, but he didn't get the gig. It actually went to a guy named Richie Desmond, who stayed on one album, and then the band actually disbanded, and the band disowned that album. And the band disowns that album now. And the lead singer actually committed suicide in 2002, unfortunately. And but anyway, yeah, After the Dream is a good album, definitely worth getting if you like thrash metal. And this is a band called Despair. Now, I discussed this band in a video a couple months back, but I actually bought Beyond All Reason. I had actually bought around that same time period. I actually bought Decay of Humanity, but it hadn't arrived in the mail yet, so I didn't show it. But I've been listening to that album not too long ago, and that's a good album too. I like all three of their albums, and I'm not sure which one I like more between Decay of Humanity and Beyond All Reason. Well, I do like the View as well. The other two albums I always felt were better albums, and yeah, it's worth checking out if you like the more melodic side of thrash metal. It has a progressive and technical edge to it as well. Very cool CD. And this is a band called Assorted Heap, and this is their album, The Experience of Horror. And this band is a German thrash metal band who released two albums. I discovered this band on a site called classicthrash.com, and anyways, the guy actually gave a lot of lukewarm or even negative reviews to a lot of albums that are hailed as classics generally by thrash metal fans. Like he'd give lukewarm reviews to albums like Beneath the Remains and other albums that are hailed as genre landmarks. But I remember him giving Assorted Heap released two albums. I remember he gave one of them 4 stars, one of them a full 5-star treatment. I never heard of them before I actually saw the website. So I was like, wow, if he gave a lot of the mediocre album, a lot of the classic albums mediocre reviews, and he gave Assorted Heap 4 stars and 5-star reviews, and I definitely got to check these guys out. And yeah, it's a really cool band. I think he gave The Experience of Horror, the album that I bought recently, a 4-star review, and he gave a follow-up, Mind Waves, a full 5-star review, my favorite tracks on The Experience of Horror are Sold Out Souls and Trick to Your Mind. And while Mind Waves hasn't been reissued yet to my knowledge, I hope it will be soon, because that was a good album too. The Experience of Horror is a lot more brutal and extreme sounding, whereas Mind Waves is a lot more melodic and accessible, but still thrash is quite hard too. But they did actually change quite a bit with that second album, although both are good albums. And then the guy from ClassicThrash.com decided to do away with the star ratings, and But okay, just review the albums. But yeah, he gave a lot of great albums, a lot of mediocre and lukewarm reviews. But anyways, yeah, I got into Assorted Heap because of him. And anyways, that's another one of the albums I've been listening to. This is a death metal band from Greece called Murder Made God, and this is their album Enslaved. It was released earlier this year on Comatose Records, and the band is comparable to another Greek band called Mass Infection, and they also have been compared to Origin, which I can understand. My favorite track of the album is Depression, and that's another one of the albums that I've been listening to recently. And finally, we got a band here called Mortis Scald. I mentioned this band before, and they were a really good death metal band from the early 90s. They released an album called Die and Remain in the early 90s, a very underrated death metal album. And then released a few more albums throughout the 90s before breaking up. And they've since got back together, and they released an EP in 2014 called Serving Two Masters. I've been listening to that one, and anyways, yeah, it's a solid EP, 5-song EP, and they even re-recorded the closing track from the debut, Die and Remains. The song is called Presumed Dead. They re-recorded that as the second to last track here. And that's another one of the albums I've been listening to lately. And anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. This is Required Field signing off, and goodbye.